Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before we get started, I like to pray to the east. I like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Bakakadash. The double understood that was a great millstone while I love his truth. And also to the hope elect that is scattered abroad. I like to say shalom. And come back here today with another great and powerful lesson to the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. The title of today's lesson is The Wicked. So I like to say shalom to all our listen and learn. Hope this will help you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And that about that, who is the wicked? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. Genesis chapter 25 and verse 25. The first one came out red. And that about it, Esau. And that about it, that, a lot of our people still don't know who their enemy are, don't know who their oppressor are. And the one that's causing all of these things that's going on in the earth. And that about the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. And that about we constantly warn you left and right. But our people still don't consider, still don't know who they are, still don't know who is the wicked, which in fact is the so-called white man, the one that's causing all this hell upon this earth. And that about constantly oppressing us, constantly trying to keep us down as a nation. And also you can read about that in Psalm chapter 83. It'll tell you a list of who are all our enemy and who is the head of that list. It's the wicked. And that about we constantly warn you left and right. We're at the beginning of sorrow, and the devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath. So the title of the day lesson once again is The Wicked. So we get started in the book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 1. And it reads, Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. Verse 2, And they covered fields, and they take them by violence, and houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. And that is the wicked, the so-called white man. All through history, all he did was rob, steal, and murder. You know what I'm saying? Or he's living on stolen land right now. And that wicked vibration is in the earth only for a short time. And he's only doing the will of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, from the left-hand side. And he will let until he be taken out of the way. And a lot of people are still walking hand in hand with their oppressor, the wicked. And the Lord said, do not go in the ways of the Gentile. And also his mindset, which in fact, this false religion, white man Jesus, thinking that everyone can be saved. Now this about the wicked have done that. And you can go back to Genesis chapter 3 and verse 1 to tell you he was most subtle than any beast of the field. He is an antichrist. He is totally against Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And also a lot of people are antichrist because they have that mindset, that wicked mindset that only comes from Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. We constantly warn you left and right. Know who your enemies are. The Lord said, never trust thy enemy. And our people are walking hand in hand, and they're getting ready to line up like clockwork, and they're going to be deceived. We constantly warn you left and right. We are right here at the end. And that is about it. Our salvation is very close to him, yet believe. So rejoice ye heaven. So now, and also, a lot of people, when you tell them who is the wicked, now everybody, they do not believe. They don't have the faith. Now everybody, the love of men is waxing colder and colder. The Lord said that two parts therein will be cut off and die. So that everybody, the Lord is getting ready to set that righteous kingdom. And also the kingdom of heaven, it is at hand. So now, let's go to one moment. Let's go to Isaiah one moment. Isaiah chapter 14. Isaiah chapter 14, one moment. I hope you get edified by the lesson today. Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 13. Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 13. And it reads, For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend unto heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation of the sides of the north. Verse 14, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. So that everybody, that's talking about the so-called white man. Also, you can read about that in 2 Thessalonians. It'll tell you about, he exalted himself. He covered the faces of white man Jesus. And that is about that, that is what's going on. That he's walking in great pride. He exalted his throne, in the stars, with the satellites, all this type of different technology. That's, the Lord had blessed him with that. You know what I'm saying? When you read about that in Genesis chapter 27 verse 40, it tell you about his blessing. And that is about, we're in a transition of power. It's all about a birthright, you know what I'm saying? And a bloodline. And that about a lot of people are being deceived. And the Lord said that the deceiver and the deceived is his. And that is about it. That, a lot of people have that wicked vibration, that wicked mindset. You know what I'm saying? And that is about it. We constantly warning you left and right. We are sighing and crying, telling you You know, who is the devil? You know what I'm saying? Who is the wicked? You know, it's the so-called white man. But a lot of our people do not believe, and not everybody, they don't have the faith. They think we are preaching a hate speech, and we constantly warn you left and right. We're at the end. It is at the door, and not everybody. It is time to come back under total subjection to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua. You know, everybody, you know, the God of this world has blinded them. Who is that? The wicked. You know what I'm saying? The physical counterpart of Satan in the flesh is the so-called white. We constantly warn you left and right. He's the one causing all this great death, this great mourning upon the earth. And that is by Bible prophecy are constantly jumping off the pages left and right. And a lot of people are still playing games. So now, let's go to one moment. Let's go to one moment. Let's go to Psalm chapter 73. One moment. Psalm chapter 73. One moment. Psalm chapter 73. And we'll start up one moment. We'll start up at verse, one moment. Let's see what verse I want to start up at. One moment. Let's start up at verse 5. Psalm chapter 73 and verse 5. They are not in trouble as other men, neither were they plagued like other men. Verse 6. Therefore pride compasses them about as a chain. Violence covered them as a garment. Verse 7. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than a heart could wish. So that everybody that, you know, that is they blessed. They have the fatness of the earth. And that everybody that, you know, death compasses them because that everybody they shed innocent blood each and every day. They are the harbinger of death, and they are not in trouble like other men because that everybody that, you know, the earth was given into their hands, and that only for a short season. And everybody that season is now, and everybody he's getting ready to come down with great wrath upon the children of Israel. We constantly warn you left and right. All hell is getting ready to break loose, and everybody we at the beginning of sorrow. We constantly warn you left and right. So now, Psalm chapter 73 and verse, one moment. Psalm chapter 73 and verse 8, and it reads, they are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression and speak lawfully. And everybody, they are walking with great pride and constantly speaking as they is God. But that everybody, they are just a mere man. When you go to Job chapter 30, it'll tell you, you know, who they are. They was in the cliffs and the rocks of the mountain, walking on all fours. And that everybody, they're walking like they are God. But that everybody, they are the base men of the earth. And that everybody, the Lord is getting ready to bring them back into that lower state. You know what I'm saying? Now everybody get ready to put them into slavery forever and forever. They are the council of the earth. And the Lord is getting ready to cut them off. And everybody, we cannot wait. And we constantly warn you who is the wicked. But everybody that you still thinking that this man can be saved. You still thinking this man can receive salvation. Then you are a damn fool. And everybody, the Lord is getting ready to destroy you right along with him. So now, let's start back up at Psalm chapter 73 and one moment, and verse 9. And it reads, they set their mouths against the heavens, and their tongues walketh through the earth. Verse 10, therefore his people returned hither, and waters of a full cup were wrung out to them. Verse 11, and they say, how doest the Most High know, and is there knowledge in the Most High? Verse 12, behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches. And everybody that's talking about the so-called white man. You know, and everybody that right there, he's living as fat off the hog right now, just only for a certain time. And everybody that he's in for a rude awakening. And everybody he think that the Lord don't see him. And everybody he has not considered the latter end. And everybody, the latter end is that you're going into slavery for 1,000 years, and after 1,000 years you will be totally eradicated. And everybody, you is the wrath fitted for destruction. We constantly telling our people left and right, but everybody, they still think that this is a game. They still constantly despise and constantly mock. And we are right at the end. The game is almost over. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. The kingdom of heaven, it is at hand. So now, let's go to one moment. Let's go to Habakkuk. Habakkuk chapter 2, one moment. Habakkuk chapter 2, and we'll start up at verse 5. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 5, one moment. We'll start up at verse 5. And it reads, yea, also, because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man, neither keeper at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Verse 6. So like we'll stop right here. And you know, just like I said, it's just like America, you know, here are all nations and different tongues and different nationalities are here, right here, in America. And everybody, we constantly warn you left and right. This man, he will not stop. And everybody that, you know what I'm saying, he trying to keep everyone together. He constantly, in his wickedness has exceeded all into heaven. And everybody, the Lord is getting ready to cleanse this place. And everybody that, you know, he thinking that he is God. And everybody that no one can tell him anything. He's telling you that, you know, hey, you know, I have the cure for this. I have this for that. You know, he have the answer. The only one that has the answer is Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. And everybody that, you know, he's getting ready to try to implement this MOTB, you know what I'm saying? And also the New World Order. And everybody that he constantly trying to keep you together. And everybody, there is nothing new under the sun. And everybody, the Lord is getting ready to cut this wicked vibration off from the earth. This cancer, this one that's causing all these great calamity, all this death and great destruction. He's getting ready to end that and bring up and set up that righteous kingdom forever and forever. So we cannot wait. The wicked is getting ready to go down. So now, let's start back up at Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 6. And it reads, and shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? And to him that laden himself with thick clay. Verse 7. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them. Verse 8, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. Verse 9, woe to him that covers an evil covenant of his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. So that everybody that's talking about the wicked, the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of, and everybody, he constantly covering, he's constantly being the great thief of the earth. He constantly devising all sorts of wickedness, you know, trying to devise his evil and wicked scheme. The NWO, the New World Order, this global reset. Everything is getting ready to go digital. We constantly warning you left and right, getting ready to go cashless. And now everybody, he's trying to make you a petrol slave. And now everybody, we constantly warn you. He has shed the innocent blood of the children of Israel. He's getting ready to pay. And everybody, the Lord said, vision is mine, says the Lord. So let's get a quick precept. Let's go to Isaiah chapter, don't mean to be rambling. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 35. One moment. Isaiah chapter 35. One moment. Isaiah chapter 35 and verse 6. Isaiah chapter 35 and verse 6. And it reads, therefore, as I live, says the Most High, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. So that everybody's that, you know, he's constantly going through the earth, you know, causing a great death, great mourning. He's constantly destroying the earth. And everybody, the Lord is getting ready to destroy him. And everybody to bring his kingdom down. And everybody that Esau is the end of this earth thing, and Jacob is the beginning of it that's followed. And everybody, we constantly warning you left and right. We at the beginning of World War III. You know, we seeing all these types of rumors of war. And the Lord said, not yet. All these things must come to pass. You know, earthquakes in diverse places. All this strange weather, you know, is going on. You know, you cannot tell what day, will it be warm or will it be cold? A lot of things are going on because that, you know, Lord is pouring out his spirit on all flesh, and everybody, nothing is going back to same. And everybody, that wicked vibration is it's increasing. The Lord said, the love of many shall wax cold, and you know, iniquity shall abound. That means increase. And everybody is constantly increasing because that everybody, all that is coming from the left hand side, the wicked side, and everybody that, you know, the Lord is constantly is moving the chess pieces around, you know, and letting you know that, you know, he is very close. And now that the Lord is visiting the earth he's created. We constantly sighing and crying and letting you know. And it's time to repent. It's time to come back under total subjection to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, because, you know, we're running out of time. We are out of time. And everybody, it's time to seek the Lord while he can't be found. So now, let's go to one moment. Let's go to, let's get another quick precept. Let's go to Psalm chapter 17, one moment. Get another quick precept. Psalm chapter 17, one moment. Psalm chapter 17, and we'll start at, one moment, at verse 13. And it reads, Arise, O Lord, disappoint him. Cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. And everybody, that's talking about the so-called white man. Everybody, we're ready for the Lord to end this, all this wickedness, all this things that's going on in the earth that's displeasing to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. And everybody, we're ready to get back in our first estate to be with our Lord and Savior forever and forever. Immortality, spiritual power, rulership. That's what we're waiting on. And everybody, they know it seemed like this devil just seemed like he want to go on forever and forever, but he did not consider the latter end. The Lord is getting ready to bring him down. We cannot wait. And everybody, we seeing all these different things that's going on in the world. We're knowing that we are very close. Bible prophecy are jumping off the page. So now we'll start back up at Psalm chapter 17. We'll start back up at verse 14. For men which are thy hand, for men which are thy hand, O Lord, from men of the world, which have their portion in this life, and whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure. They are full of children, and leave the rest to their substance, to their babes. And everybody, that's talking about the so-called white, the wicked. And everybody, they have great substance. And everybody, a lot of their children are left with great wealth and possession, because that everybody, they stolen everything. They have robbed, stealed, and murdered and killed over the century. And that is about, they have built up great wrath. It built up on the innocent blood of the children of Israel. And they're getting ready to pay with their blood. And that is about, just like it said in Ezekiel chapter 35, says, thou hast not hated blood, blood shall pursue thee. And that is about, we cannot wait. The Lord is the righteous judge, and he's getting ready to judge. And that is about, we cannot wait. So now, let's go to one moment. Let's go to one moment. Let's go to Daniel's chapter 7. Daniel's chapter 7 and verse 25. Daniel's chapter 7. One moment. Daniel's chapter 7 and verse 25. Daniel's chapter 7 and verse 25. And it reads, he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hands until a time and the dividing of time. Let's read that again. Daniel chapter 7 and verse 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hands until the time and times and the dividing of time. So that everybody, that's talking about the so-called white man. Also, that lined up with Job chapter 9 and verse 24, that the earth was given into the hands of the wicked for a certain time. And everybody, that time is now. He is running out of time. And everybody, change time, change landmarks. He's constantly wearing out the same with all this oppression, all these different unrighteous decrees. He's getting ready to be the thing of the past, constantly trying to put all his evil scheme, his evil devices upon you. But, we're not ignorant of Satan's device. And everybody, we constantly warn you left and right. And a good example of how he changing time is if we're getting ready to go back to what you call daylight central time. And everybody, that is the wicked, you know what I'm saying? And everybody, it fit him like a glove. And everybody, the Bible is the true book, and the Lord's word is not returned to him void. And everybody, we constantly warning, we are running out of time. And everybody, our salvation is very close to we yet believe. It's time to look up and wake up. You know what I'm saying? And everybody, a lot of our people are still sleeping. So now, let's go to one moment. So what I want to go to now. Let's go to Psalm chapter 37. Psalm chapter 37, one moment. Psalm chapter 37 and verse 1. Psalm chapter 37 and verse 1. And it reads, fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity. Verse 2, for they shall soon be cut down like the grass and wither as the green herb. So their time is very short. The Lord is getting ready to cut them off. And everybody, we constantly warn you left and right. It's nothing going back the same. When we look around, we're seeing things that's getting worse and worse. And everybody, if the Lord is dealing with you, you must be spiritual to see what's coming. And everybody, the one that see what's coming is the house of David, the elect. And everybody, that we constantly rejoice because we know that we are very close to the kingdom of heaven. The Lord is getting ready to return and set things back into order. So now, let's go to, let's see what I want to go to now. One moment. One moment. Let's get one more quick precept and we'll close out. Let's see where I want to go. Let's get one more quick precept and then we'll close out. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 14. Then we'll close out. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 14 and get a little something out of here I want to get. Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 13. One moment. No, I've been there. Salaki, I've been here. Let's go to Job chapter 20. We'll close out here. I've been there. Salaki. Job chapter 20. I just read that. Job chapter 20 and verse 15. We'll start here. We'll close out here. One moment. Job chapter 20, and we'll start at verse 15. He has swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. The Most High shall cast them out of his belly. So that everybody, even though he have all the great riches right now, have a great military, all sorts of technology, pseudoscience, AI, and everybody, he's getting ready to give all those things up. He's getting ready to lose in a big way. And everybody, the Lord is getting ready to bring him back low to the basement of Job chapter 30. And everybody, that, you know what I'm saying? He be just like he never was. And everybody, the Lord is getting ready to put us on top and put them on the bottom. And everybody, we getting ready to change place. And everybody, the one that was first is getting ready to be last. And the one that is last is getting ready to be first. So rejoice ye heaven. So now let's start back up at Job chapter 20 and verse 16. And it reads, he shall suck the poison of asps. The viper's tongue shall slay him. Verse 17, he shall not see the rivers, the floods, the brooks, and of the honey and butter. Verse 18, that which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein. So that everybody that he's constantly rejoicing. Right now he's in the land of milk and honey. He constantly thinking that he a good case. He's walking in great pride, not about all the wealth that he had, all the great power that he had. He won't be able to enjoy it. And everybody, the Lord is getting ready to cut him off for everything. And everybody that he will be the low as the lowest that can come. And everybody, we cannot wait. And everybody, I cannot wait to see all my enemies go down. I can't wait till the Lord to return. And we cannot wait. So now, let's start back. I don't mean to be rambling. Let's start back up at verse 19. Job chapter 20 and verse 19. Because he has oppressed and has forsaken the poor, because he has violently taken away an house which he builded not. So that everybody's talking about that great thief, the so-called white man. That's all he have did, shed innocent blood, have taken away things that don't belong to him. He's doing it each and every day. You know what I'm saying? And that everybody, the Lord is getting ready to give all that back to the righteous owner. And that everybody, that is Israel. You know what I'm saying? The Israel of the Most High. And that everybody, the Lord is getting ready to set us up. And that everybody, we cannot wait. So now, let's start back up once again. Let's start back up at Job chapter 20 and verse 20. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desire. Verse 21, there shall none of his meat be left thereof. Shall no man look for his goods. Verse 22, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in strait. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. So that everybody, that he's in the fullness of his sufficiency. And everybody, he will not be able to perform his enterprise. And everybody, that right now he's very fat. He's walking with great pride. And everybody, that he's getting ready to come down on the children of Israel. So when he get ready to come in like a flood, the Lord is getting ready to lift up that standard. And everybody, he is getting ready to lay him down forever. And everybody, we cannot wait. So that everybody, he's thinking that that he's gonna go on forever and forever, but it's not gonna work the way that he think. You know what I'm saying? That is about the Lord is in perfect control, and that is about that. Oh man, we cannot wait. The Lord is constantly moving the chess pieces around, and that is about we constantly warn you who is the wicked. It's the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. But that is about that you still don't think that way, and that is about you're gonna die because you have the mindset of the wicked, the serpent that was in the garden, and that is about we constantly warn you left and right. So now, let's start back up one moment. Let's start back up. At verse 23. And it reads, when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and he and he shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Let's read that again. Job chapter 20 and verse 23. It says, when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So that is about he will not be able to perform his enterprise. And that is about he is setting up the NWO. He is setting up this global reset, this digital curse, this 5G blockchain system. So like, and that is about he will not be able to buy or sell. And that is about it. The RD microchip, the market is coming to play. All these different devices that he's trying to bring in. Now that he's trying to make you a petrol slave, but that is about it that he would not be able to perform because that is about the Lord is getting ready to return and take him out of rulership forever. And that is about he will be as he was, never was, never even existed. And that is about we constantly warn you left and right. And that is about it that we are very close. We're seeing all the signs of the times are here. We're measuring the time diligently, and we are redeeming the time wisely. And that is about we are watching, praying, and being sober. So we'll go to our last and final script. Let's go to Psalm chapter 49. We'll close out here. Psalm chapter 49, and we'll close out here. I hope that you got edified by the lesson today. Psalm chapter 49, and let's see where I want to start up at. Psalm chapter 49. Let's see where I want to start up at. One moment. Let's start up at verse 11. Psalm chapter 49 and verse 11. And it reads, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. Let's read that again. Psalm chapter 49 and verse 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. That's talking about the wicked. America was named after a so-called white man. Africa was named after a so-called white man. And that is about their inward thought is that they will rule forever. And that is about if they cannot rule, they will try to destroy everything. And that is about the Lord is going to have to snatch them out of rulership. The Lord gave him that blessing, and the Lord is getting ready to return and snatch him out of rulership and put him back in that lower state. You know what I'm saying? In the beginning, he was nothing. He always was meant to be a servant. You know what I'm saying? That the elder shall serve the younger. And that is about it. We constantly warn you about the wicked. He's constantly moving through the earth. And a lot of people are still being deceived by him. He's the father of lies. And that is about it. We constantly warn you left and right. But you still thinking that you're a good king. You're still thinking at all these false doctrines. You're still thinking about white men Jesus. You're still thinking that you're African American. And that about we are the chosen people about the Negro, the Latino, the Native Indians, the Mexicans. And that about it. I'm talking to you, but a lot of our people will not get it this time around. We're right at the end. And that is about it. That wicked vibration is constantly going through the earth. The do thy will spirit. Now about a lot of our people have that mindset, and you will be destroyed. He said 2 parts therein will be cut off and die. So the title of the daily lesson once again is the wicked. So I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Rakakadash. And I like to say Shalom.